جديد من برنامج حديث الرقيب. لقاء اليوم كما وعدتكم خلال طبعا الشهر الماضي وخلال الأسابيع الماضي كان في هناك خلينا نحكيها ثورة الاعتراف بالدولة الفلسطينية. دول كما إسبانيا، النرويج، إيرلندا وسلوفينيا طبعا اللي قدمت مواقف طيبة لنا كفلسطينيين كان لابد نتوجه لهم ونحكي لهم شكرا. وضمن المكاتب اللي زرناها مكاتب التمثيل كان مكتب سلوفينيا في فلسطين، واللي طبعا كمان سفيرهم اللي موجود معي الآن في الاستوديو رحب بوجوده معنا اليوم ليتحدث عن العلاقات الثنائية الفلسطينية سلوفينية، وبنفس الوقت هذا الدعم المطلوب اليوم سياسيا من كافة الدول على الأخص في أوروبا، كونه سلوفينيا هي دولة في أوروبا الوسطى مثل ما بتعرف بعدد سكان حوالي 2 مليون نسمة، دولة متقدمة أو منذ العام 2091 أعلنت عن السيادة الكاملة على أراضيها، وهي عضو في الاتحاد الأوروبي، وتنتج السيارات والآلات الكهربائية والمنتجات الكيميائية والأدوية. اقتصادها اقتصاد مختلط، ومعدل الدخل فيها 47 ألف دولار سنويا، وهي في المرتبة 37 عالميا في تقرير Doing Business الصادر عن الورد بانك اللي بيصدر عن البنك الدولي. أرحب باسمكم جميعا بالسيد فويكو كوزما، وهو طبعا سفير سلوفينيا في فلسطين. Welcome to our talk show. Of course, after I'm said hello, ladies and gentlemen, our guest today is Mr. Vojko Kuzma, head of representative office of Slovenia in Palestine, and let me say that in Slovenian language, Dobro jutro.
شكرا جزيلا حبيبي.
Thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much, and the best greetings to all listeners of your radio. I hope they are listening us, and I wish all the best to good people of Ramallah and other people who are on our radio now. Yes, and I'm happy to be here in studio with you.
Good to see you after 5 years of your mission, almost in this complicated and unusual environmental political situation here in Palestine. First of all, I would like to talk about the recognition of Palestinian state by the Slovenian government, and I've been actually following up the Slovenian media who supporting the truth outside of the media biased, as you see now in most of the Western media. How do you think such recognition is supporting Palestinian and supporting the Palestinian state, as well as trying to get or to spread the message to the world that all countries must recognize Palestine and Palestinians, and this is mostly the basics of their rights, especially at this situation?
Yes, thank you for your question. I would like to start probably that you recognize us 32 years ago. Palestine recognized Slovenia. I was looking 32 years ago, so it was time to, how to say, the balance our relations. So I'm happy that we do this year in May. It was relatively easy to do this in Slovenia because of strong public opinion support, media support, political support. So it was relatively smoothly with majority in our parliament to recognize Palestine. And of course, as we say, this is just a beginning. You know, we see this as a new beginning to have relations between our two states. And of course, this is not the end of the road, but it's, how to say, to make some push-up to give the right to self-declaration also to Palestinian people, and we always advocate two-state solution. So this is, how to say, we see this the beginning of the road to way to two-state solution. We know it is relatively complicated, and it will not be easy, but because sometimes you have to do hard decision and hard processes in your life. If you would like, if I can speak from my perspective, whenever I had difficult problems in my life, this makes me better. So that's how I look, and we are happy to open our representative office here in Palestine already in October 2007. and usually, you know, your people know that we are coming from former Yugoslavia. Former Yugoslavia was relatively popular here, and a lot of Palestinian students were studying in former Yugoslavia.
In 1980s.
Yes, yes. And then I still meet the people who speak Serbo-Croat language. They were studying in Belgrade, and I have good connection with them. But then Yugoslavia collapsed, and Slovenia went on the path of self-declaration and independence. And it is interesting that only we from former Yugoslav countries opened office here. I don't know what is the reason, but no other countries from former Yugoslavia, not Croatia, not Serbia, not Bosnia and Herzegovina, not Northern Macedonia, nor Montenegro opened offices here. So you have to ask them why they don't do, why are still procrastinating to not to open any office here.
Yes, and this is our right actually to ask for
you can ask
such
them,
topics. Yeah.
If you have contact with them, ask them. I was thinking I don't have any clear explanation, because it's of course they have embassies, most of them I think in Tel Aviv, but it is difficult to understand situation and cover everything just from the Tel Aviv perspective. At least we who are here think like
So you believe we have a history
yes.
between Palestinians and Slovenia, even after the 1991, when you declare your full statehold and your political ties with Palestine. I believe it become developed from time to time. How we can evaluate this
I would
relationship?
say that now Palestine will open embassy in Slovenia, and we are happy to see this event. This will be another push, because there's a lot of chances to improve this cooperation. This cooperation in going on in some areas, when in the past we were rehabilitating handicapped children in Gaza, who need protecting. So we were taking them to Slovenia, and it was logistically, I can tell you, it was huge, complicated. Even the biggest countries as Italy, they said they cannot do this, and now, unfortunately,
takes a lot of time, many restrictions.
Papers take them to Tel Aviv, and now we are planning to repeat this, because unfortunately there are a lot of children who need this help, and I would like to share with your listener the small 8-year-old boy who were in rehabilitation in Ljubljana, and he was just torso, without legs and without arms, just a torso and head. And it's interesting, everybody were impressed how positive he was, how strong will was in this handicapped body. They trained him.
Strong.
They trained him how to use the wheelchair with his mouth to manipulate the wheelchair, and that's probably this is a sort of message that hope it's always important in life, and to believe in life, and all of people were very impressed by this young boy from Gaza. I don't know where is he now.
Hope made by Palestinians.
Yes. So I don't know where is this boy now, and I would like to see his future, but we don't know. I hope he's still alive somewhere. Yeah, we would.
Hope so.
This is one story, and then we are doing, of course, we are doing humanitarian project. We are doing psychosociological support. It will be a huge demands for that in Gaza. A lot of children are in terrible psychological situation. Not just children, but children are the most vulnerable group. But we also doing psychosociological support here in West Bank. You need also here. We like to work with the schools.
You believe the Slovenian government still can do something for Gazans?
Yeah, we will try to. First we have to stop the war. This is the most important what our government is asking to do, stop the war, and then we have to try to reconstruct the Gaza. They will need all sort of needs. As far as I understand situation, of course, you need food, water, health system, but then it will be a huge need also for education system. They have 600,000 young people. I'm not sure how we can run or help let's say in September, new school season, probably should be some interim online model or something like that, and they would need our help, and that's what my idea. Probably all of our endeavors should also be included. But speaking on school, we have very good cooperation. Ljubljana University is cooperating with Anna Jah University. I like to visit Anna Jah University. I have a lot of friends there, and like to go there every year to give them some lectures. I like to meet with young people, with young students. I like to go around. When I came here, I had the plan to visit all Palestine universities, but unfortunately, because of the situation, I'm not sure if I could go alone. But I'm always ready to speak with young people. You have very clever young people, and they can be critical. I like, when they are critical. They don't have to be diplomatically polite or correct, but it's nice to discuss with them, and they are your future, and that's what I like, because you are small nation just like Slovenia. We are 2 million people, 20,000 square kilometers. I prepared some information. Probably it will be interesting for your listeners later, and that's what I appreciate in this difficult situation in Palestine. Your support of education. Even in this difficult situation, parents are investing in their children, because you need, if you would like to have people who would be competent and authorized to run the country, they have to be educated. Education is, as a small country, you will never produce tanks or submarines, but you can produce the smart people. Like Bertolt Brecht said once, "Book is a weapon, take it to your hands."
Which is the real capital.
Yes.
And the occupation cannot make more restrictions on us to do or to be more educated.
These are the projects we are doing. Then I am very proud, that every year since I'm here, we had young people from Slovenia, different volunteers who came here voluntarily.
In which fields?
Physiotherapy, Beit Beyut organization. They are organizing, inviting Palestinian children to Slovenia to see Slovenia, and then they are coming back. And for most children, they are first time outside Palestine. So it's how to say, impressive for them, or I don't know how to explain. And then we have the volunteers who are coming here on their own organization, not through different NGOs, but they find arrangement, and they call me. We would like to help to work in hospital as volunteer to rehabilitate people. So then I try to help them, to stay here 1 or 2 months. And this is good for young people, because they go around, they don't stay just in Ramallah or Nablus, but they go around. That's to see what is going on and to know something. And people are always ready to embrace them, to show them what is going in. Now this year, this is not possible. It would be possible, but it would be more difficult. So I hope in the future we can continue with this young people who are keen to come and to understand what is going here. And sometimes they are the best ambassadors. Then
absolutely,
what I say, your Palestinians who are also living in Slovenia, they're sort of ambassadors. I could never figure out how many Palestinians are living in Slovenia. Basically, they're students. Some students, then they got in love, they married, and then they stay in Slovenia. Some of them are studying.
They become Slovenians.
Yeah. I know such a people, but I could never make a adequate evaluation how many are these people. So I hope your embassy can help me to count them or to gather them. They are dispersed around Slovenia. Some of them are in North Slovenia, because we have different universities, and then they stay, and even they don't know for themselves. So it would be good to know how many of them are living in Slovenia. And now, because of this situation, our government will offer even more scholarship for Palestinians. Yeah. And we always say it has to be West Bank and Gaza. I always say it has to be balanced. We
absolutely
have to offer some scholarship for Gaza and also for West Bank. And I can tell you, in Gaza they invest a lot in education. I can tell you, when I was going to Gaza, I met 2 doctors of mechatronic in Gaza. You know, mechatronic is for robot industry, very important.
Absolutely. It's the future.
I'm not sure if you have doctor of mechatronic in West Bank. I don't want to make how to say wrong information, but I didn't met any doctor of mechatronic here in West Bank. Yeah, not even in Najaf. I see Najaf as a champion between universities, but I like also other universities like Birzeit University or in general you have good universities. Yeah, for sure.
Yes, we have.
Yeah.
In economic side,
This is the issue. We have very poor. That's how to say my pain. I'm here 5 years and I couldn't.
very poor ties.
Yeah, I know very good Hebron Chamber of Economy. I have a lot of friends because they are the strongest. They are producing the
Yes,
largest part of GDP, and
In
they are
West
really
Bank.
good business people working in difficult conditions. And if I could manage, to make some business visit or something like that I still have in my head, some business tour. If you get direct contact between both people, then they can get some business opportunities, and they are really good in Hebron. They even opened the hummus factory in Germany.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so you can see how business.
They never stop.
No. They have a lot of.
They always.
They have a lot of ideas, and I always like to speak with them. And and I like this concept, business people, but they're also very social sensitive. So they always support hospitals, some poor children, this, how to say, social sensitive business people. So that's what I always appreciate with them. And they every year they invite me. They like to celebrate Ramadan on the street. They have special. And then they invite me to join them in the evening for iftar, but then the COVID stopped us. This COVID hit completely, so we were stuck that time.
Hit many traditions actually.
Yeah.
during that
Yes.
time.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah. And of course, there are other opportunities for culture cooperation. Some music group. I like your Dabka dance group. They are excellent, very good professionals. I always enjoy when they invite me to watch some Dabka festival here in Ramallah, and it's always a pleasure. That's something really what I connect with you, something very specific for you.
Actually, this is historically this is part of our traditions.
Yes. And
especially during the wedding.
You have to continue with such a positive tradition, I would say, not to forget this your roots, your grandfather roots. I think this is also important for young people when they are oriented to computers and Facebook. And I can see this in Slovenia. Young people are reading less and less. They are using the websites, and I think this is not the best way for young generation. You have to go back to books.
Absolutely.
The books are the basis, and unfortunately this trend, it's everywhere the same, not just in Slovenia, but I hope it's not so present here, but I can see this in Europe.
The effective school.
But on the other side, we have young people who are very dedicated, very devoted, and I told you, when we recognize Palestine in May, I know in Ljubljana University students organize themselves, and they make a huge protest in support of Palestine. First time in my life I saw something like that, because when I was young student, we were wearing the T-shirts Che Guevara and Yasser Arafat, freedom, revolution. But these generations are now different. You have to approach them differently.
Absolutely.
And you have to work with them.
And they have their own tools and vision.
Yes.
How to deal with issues.
At the same time, they can see some important issue, and they were very, very exposed in this. How to say, to be dedicated. And even after that, one of the reasons why then university accept decision to increase scholarship for Palestine was exactly that engagement of these students from Ljubljana University.
And maybe this is part of the how you can develop the both sides relationship. But first, I would like to know more about
Yes.
the Slovenia and Slovenian people.
I prepared
for
some information
for our listeners.
If it's too much, interrupt me, but I try really hard to make some information. First, we are a small country. You know, we are 20,000 square kilometers. Gaza-sized population, 2 million people. So we are really a small country. But if you would come to Slovenia, you would see that we are really very colorful. You know, first, for your listener to understand, we are on the the Mediterranean Sea connect us, because you are on the south side of Mediterranean Sea, and we are on the very northern side of Mediterranean Sea, Adriatic Sea, and we are at the very corner. So this is our connections, and we have. Usually Palestinians are saying that we are very green, you know, because we have a lot of forests.
Sure.
Yeah, almost three quarter of our country. We are one of the most forested country in Europe, and we have a lot of water. You know, we have 27,000 kilometers of rivers. So we have a plenty of water, and you know, that's life. When you have a lot of water, then you don't appreciate that very much. So we don't treat these waters as we should do. You know, we should do much better. But that's when you have something in plenty of something, then you probably don't appreciate or should appreciate. And then we have about 10,000 caves.
10,000.
Underground, yes. So everywhere, you know, in Karst region, and there is the famous Postojna underground.
Which is an opportunity for tourists, I believe.
True. There is even train inside. You can go with train, and it's a beautiful area. So I recommend every Palestinian to visit Postojna underground cave. And then it's interesting, you know, this our relation to the nature. We have, I put this information, 90,000 beekeepers. 90,000 beekeepers, you know, producing honey. And why is this so important? Because Slovenia was striving hardly to make in UN International Day of Bees, and finally there accept 20 of May is International Day of Bees. Why is this so important? Because bees are the indicator of environment. You know, when you lose the bees, because I know you have also bees here, and you are good with production of honey, when you start to lose the bees, then you have to be worried, you know, because that's signal that something is going. We like wrong to say when you will lose the bees, also the mankind will be next on the
next
line.
target.
And we have even, you know, this expression: you are hard working like a bee. You know, that's we see bees as something very positive and hard working. I am coming from Maribor. Maribor is on the north, and it's the second largest city in Slovenia, but it's interesting. We have the oldest grapevine in the world. In Maribor, it's 400 years old. So you can visit and see this. Officially, it's the oldest grapevine in the world. Originally, you know, Slovenia means land of Slavs. And if you look in English pronunciation, we are the only country having the word love in our Slovenia love. So even our national anthem, you know, usually anthems are brave, how you fight for freedom, but our national anthem is speaking that we have a dream that all people will be equal, and our neighbors will be really neighbors and not enemies. So it's something positive, not such a hope for good.
Maybe because of this history, Slovenians are
supporting
Palestinians.
Yeah, could be also because of the harsh
because
history.
They believe in our rights.
Yes, true, and. Ljubljana means beloved. You know, Ljubljana, our capital, the word Ljubljana means actually beloved. And then I found something which is probably interesting also for your listeners. The first translation of Quran in Latin, it was done in 1141 by Herman of Carinthia and Robert Catton. And Herman of Carinthia, he was from Slovenia. So actually Slovenians managed to translate first Quran to introduce it to Europe. I think this is something lot of people even in Slovenia don't know. And then we have, because of the First World War, there was a big fight between Italy and Austria and Germans, and we were in the middle. So they even bring the Muslim troops from Bosnia, and now they discover couple years ago there was a lot of mountains, and they make the highest, probably it was the highest mosque in Europe at the altitude of 1,800 meters. Can you imagine? They put a mosque at the level of 1,800 meters, and a couple years ago we found a relic of that. Even people didn't know that. Yeah, so it's something we should aware. It's part of our history for sure. And although we are small, we have 800 endemic animal species and 66 plant endemic species. And speaking on the history, couple of years ago in Slovenia, they officially found the oldest wheelchair in the world. They make a special method, and they discover it is 5,150 years old wheelchair from the wood. And this is officially the oldest wheelchair in the world, the only one we can see. That mankind 5,000 years ago used the wheelchair.
A unique discovery, actually.
Yes, and this you can see this in our museum. And then the second, probably interesting information is, mankind communicate with music very early. So we found Neanderthal flute made from the bare bone, with the holes, and it's old 60,000 years. So mankind 60,000 years ago already used music instrument. Neanderthals are close relatives to Homo sapiens.
So a lot of historical.
Yes. So we are proud for this information, and I hope they will be interesting for your listener.
If you want, when you get back to your homeland, and I wish all the best, of course, for your country and your people, for their support to Palestinians, and for their independence, their security as well. What you will tell them about Palestinians? Well,
I will tell them, they deserve the same rights as other nations. They deserve to be not just people, but to become a nation. When we say about nation, it's organized with their own political entity, as we see it, and we always support, two-state solution, to have own state to rule your own country, and it's difficult for people to understand that, how to explain them that actually Palestine is occupied, and we have to understand that you are living under occupation, under rule of occupation, and it's difficult to move, to live, and to work. It's not easy, and we understand that, and as most optimal solution should be two-state solution. Ideally would be one state from the river to the sea with equal rights, but
it's not.
I don't see this viable for the time being. Although that was Palestine idea before Oslo. Before Oslo started, that was idea to have one state with equal rights, but then international community and some big powers were pushing forward to have a two-state solution, and if this is optimal solution as we see it now, then we have to continue with this process. And
do you believe we still have hope for two-state solution?
I think you have to have hope. Unfortunately, situation is not very, open to this solution. But on the other side, if you remember, when Sadat came and gave this famous speech to Knesset, how this could be the game changer, to some things could happen relatively quickly, and nobody expected that would happen quickly. So I think we need people who will have a vision and who will be ready to go also against public opinion sometimes, you know, because if you are riding the wave of public opinion always pragmatically, then we see what is happening globally, and we need leaders. Yeah, that's how I would say. And
it's hard, little bit.
Yes, yeah, that's how I see. And I like, you know, because I see a lot of resilience and a lot of hope in Palestine people. You have to be resilient and you have to have hope, because if you will lose the hope, then you can be just I don't know how to say, just to leave the country, or to become, how to say, people without hope, you know, just to be radicalized, seeing no future. And, you know, I like the attitude. I met one businessman, my friend in Ramallah, 2 days ago, and he said, you know, I was thinking to leave because it's difficult. It's difficult to make a business. It's difficult to
stay,
to cooperate, because he lost a lot of business because Israel cancelled all his contract. Now he's looking for new markets. He has to reduce 50% of his worker. But he said, yeah, but you know, finally, because of my children, I decided to stay. And he has American citizenship. He could leave, you know, he could go. But he said, no.
As thousands actually,
yes,
like him, they can leave, but they
he
don't.
said, I will decide. I decided to stay. And I said, yeah, that's a kind, that's the attitude of the people we needed here. Yeah, because you know, if all people with potential will leave, then you will lose this potential. But I know that you have a strong diaspora and very educated people around the world, but on the same time you need also this driving force inside this country. And whenever I speak with young people, I know, you know, they are disappointed, and they are disappointed because they could never vote it. Most of them, you know, who are 25 years old or 30 years, they never voted, and we know how important it is to give you the right to choose, to have the free elections and to choose the government you like it. And we were unfortunately we were thinking this would happen 2.5 years ago, but then it was blocked, and now realistically it's difficult to push forward this because of this situation in Gaza. You cannot tell people now to go to vote, but they need basic needs. But this is in very how to say, in the heart.
But we still need elections as soon as we can.
Yes, as soon as possible, and you will have the full support
for our future, at least.
Yes, for young people. You have to choose as every nation has the right to choose their own government and parliament. You also definitely, I see, you need that as soon as possible. Yeah, I would say as soon as possible. And European Union is helping, you know, in some areas, like election commission. You have very good election commission, you know, but like Brits are saying, you know, the proof of the pudding is to make a pudding, and then you eat the pudding. So the proof of democracy is finally to have elections, not to discuss what will happen or who will be elected and why not this will be elected. But at the very end, you need elections. Yeah, it's
but it needs maybe political willing, actually.
Yes.
Even from the international community.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, I agree with that. I mean this, because that's how I see, you know, your political situation. You have this spectrum which is not adequately presented. Now you have this Islamistic political groupation, and then you have this, how to say, centralistic political groups, and then you have left wing or relatively radical left wing groupation. So I don't see these three major groupation to be now presented in political life. So you have to make some sort of balance between themselves, or to see the will of the people, which of this groupation should create some sort of government. I think it will be some sort of coalition. Yeah, I don't see, as far as I understand, that one side can get majority, but it will sort of coalition, which is then usually good, you know, because usually everywhere in Europe we have coalitions, then you have to make some balances more to take interests of other groups.
Usually you have to do that.
Into consideration. So that's a way of life. Of course, respecting democratic rules and peaceful track. How to say? This is our. And if this would happen in, let's say, in 1 year, I would be very happy. Yeah, and
at least
I know
maybe,
that people
maybe
are,
before you leave, actually.
People are impatient. I know people would like to have this as soon as possible. But unfortunately now it's really difficult to push forward because, everybody are speaking on Gaza and we really have to stop what is
Which
going
is the
on.
priority, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Even
I
if-
think it's more important than life. Human life it's the most important. No matter whether you're Muslim, Christian, or anybody else, the human life is the most important. And I never see people. I never divided people according to religions. People like to say, yeah, you were called to be a Muslim, or I was called to be a Christian. But actually, you were born in an environment when the predominant religions gave you the orientation. If I would be born here, I would probably be a Muslim.
Sure.
And if you would be born in Slovenia, probably you would be a Christian.
This is normal.
So it's not really a free will, how to choose or how to God choose you. But it's the determination of major religion in every environment. So I never divided people on religion, or I always say if you are a good person, you're already close to the God. No matter if
Hopefully
you're going
that the
to
international
yeah.
community do that
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
And I believe that
Yeah.
if you agree with me, after the 7th of October, Palestine issue back to the table.
You are absolutely right, Habibi. Unfortunately, the huge price was paid. So without this bloodshed in Gaza, I'm not sure that Palestine question would be so present on the table. So actually, we should not forget the price.
It's a huge
People
price.
had to pay 7 October and later the price which was paid to put Palestine agenda. Now really it's everywhere on the agenda, really. It was never so, I don't know, in last 20 years it was not so present in every circles, everywhere in our European capitals, in United States, everywhere. In United Nations, we are we are a temporary member of Security Council, Slovenia, and we can see this issue almost every month. It's on the table and discussion on of course priorities on Gaza and bad situation on Gaza, but definitely Palestine issue is back on the track. And I would say this is good news for you. And I can see also some new energy in the young people here in West Bank. I don't know if you agree with me, but I would say I see new energy between your young generation. That's my impression when I speak with them. And I see this as something positive, not just think how to finish the study and leave the Palestine.
Because of the circumstances.
Yes.
Yeah. Unless that the international community will have the political willing and decision to make a difference, actually, because what the youth of Palestine believe that we cannot be for freedom and against it at the same time.
Yeah.
They saw that
with
the international community.
Yeah.
Now, how much you believe that this attitude will be changed after this huge price in Gaza and West Bank and Jerusalem and all Palestine?
Some young people, how I see, some young Palestinians see it as a model, one-state solution, because they compare standard way of living. And I told you this would be optimal, but we don't see this as viable. Unfortunately, the same right from the river to the sea in one state. So if this is not possible, then we have to be focused on two-state solution. And it's difficult, to tell young people who were born in the occupation, who are living under occupation, who didn't see anything except occupation, and who A lot of them were never outside the country, they never go outside. Majority of people in Gaza, they never left Gaza, so they know just life in Gaza,
Absolutely.
It's difficult for them to see any other way of living as they are living, or Palestinians, who are living in Tulkarem or Kalkilia, close to the sea, and they never come to the sea. They never see the sea exactly. That's the limits of young people, and we have to understand that and take into consideration their way of thinking. And as I said, we have to use their potential, because really you have young people with great potential, and I think it's a time on political scene slowly, to come new generation, younger people than we are. The younger people should start to focus on.
They can lead for better future.
Yes, on these problems, definitely. You need younger people because, I have a lot of friends here, and I'm asking myself, sometimes I ask them, what will be with your children? How will they live? Will they live this daily life they are living today, or there will be something more better for them? And they're asking this question the same. They share the view with me, for sure. And we would all like to have the better future for your children, to live in peace and as a full-fledged member of society with the equal rights.
And this is the basic rights for any human being.
Yes.
Well, thank you for being with me today. Thank you for...
It was a pleasure to be here with you. And, people are sometimes saying to us diplomats, you're just having contact with officials, with PA authorities, and then I have
they are wrong.
And then I will say, look, anybody can contact me and speak, and I like to speak with ordinary people or independent radio stations. I have always pleasure to discuss anything with people who are ready to listen, and I hope it was something useful for your listeners, and I wish all the best to your radio and your future work.
Thank you for joining me. Thank you for your message as well to Palestinians, and of course of all your activities in your office. باسمكم جميعا بشكر السيد فويكو كوزما، سفير طبعا سلوفينيا في فلسطين. لقاءنا طبعا مثل ما بتعرفوا كان باللغة الإنجليزية، بعد دقائق من الآن بيكون على حسابنا على اليوتيوب أيضا باللغة العربية للي بيحب طبعا يتابع القضايا اللي حكينا فيها اليوم، والمزيد من المعلومات الخاصة بهذا اللقاء واللي بيننا بداية من دور سلوفينيا اليوم في الاعتراف بالدولة الفلسطينية وأثره السياسي أولا والاقتصادي، وأثره على العلاقات الثنائية بين سلوفينيا وفلسطين. وطبعا شاهدنا الانطباع الإيجابي جدا من السفير فويكو كوزما عن الفلسطينيين وقوتهم وأسرارهم وإيمانهم وقدرتهم على الصمود بظروف استثنائية وغير عادية، وصناعتهم للأمل وللصمود كرسالة عالمية من هنا من فلسطين. أشكركم جميعا، ولقاءنا مثل ما أسلفنا بيكون إن شاء الله على حسابنا على اليوتيوب بعد دقائق ومترجم باللغة العربية. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
شكرا جزيلا.